astrology, and other divinatory arts are not a replacement or substitute for physical or psychiatric health care. If this is an emergency situation or you are in crisis, please do not defer your wellness to readings or horoscopes. Seek situation-appropriate, qualified assistance instead. Hi there, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for July 2022. And just a quick reminder, if you are watching and wondering if I'm going to be talking about Jupiter retrograde in this video, no, I am not. I am saving that for one of my special deep dive forecasts, and so stay tuned. That's coming. And we don't have Jupiter turning retrograde until the very end of the month anyway, but since it is a long-standing retrograde and there's a lot to talk about, I figured it needed a video of its own, so stay tuned. If you are ever interested in getting a session with me, you just need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, engagement helps this channel out a lot. So what is going on when it comes to your July? Well, we'll start with the Sun, bringing special focus and highlights, attention, enhancement, and support to your 9th house of higher education, government legal proceedings, travel, as well as culture, your spiritual path and practice, as well as your reach, Cancer, for the first 3 weeks of the month, all the way up through the 22nd. And when we have the Sun in the 9th house, this is a time where a lot of you Scorpio people are noticing you're getting attention from a lot of very supportive people, or maybe even very supportive contributions coming your way from outside of your bubble as it relates to either your career, your academic path, your spiritual path, in such a way where that enhancement and support that is coming to you is going to be changing the way you handle all of your disciplines, commitments, and business in this area. With the Sun in the 9th house, it's a time where you are getting lifted up because you are getting out of any kind of containments or bubbles you have been operating in. This is opening up the world to you. And so if you feel like you've been working with limited options, or there's been some scarcity in some way when it comes to different types of populations or work opportunities that you would like to step into and commit to, the Sun is going to be bringing a lot of remedies for that. This is also a time, interestingly enough, it's one of the big fame aspects. You know, a lot of you Scorpio people, very similarly to the Libra people, are going to notice that your popularity is soaring during this time, but it's not so much going to be from the usual folk or the usual communities that you circulate in. It's time to get yourself out of your bubble, and you're going to find that you are, of course, going to stay with the people that are true blue, but it's time to move forward when it comes to communities as well as maybe clientele and work circles that are compatible with you on a deeper level than maybe what you have become accustomed to. And this is going to be a big focus of this month. After the 22nd, we've got the Sun moving on into Leo, which is your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, station, promotions, anything relating to raises. And with the Sun in the 10th house of career, this is a time where you're noticing a lot of environmental and atmospheric transformations going on, not only at the office, not only in your workforce, but also in your career, in your vocation in general, which is, of course, going to transform how you not only do your work, but it's going to open up and precipitate a lot of opportunities to get more value back to yourself for what you put out there. Because the Sun is changing the way the wind is blowing. It's changing the trends that have been popular in your world into something that is actually a lot more lucrative for you. This is also a time where you are getting recognized. You are getting discovered, probably also with a bit of the help of the Sun transiting through the 9th house, before the 22nd, but you're getting discovered and you're getting lifted up by everybody around you. This is a beautiful opportunity for a lot of you to change how you engage with not only your own workforce or your bosses, authority figures, or even your career, your vocation as a whole, but also how it comes about that you start drumming up better business, not just in terms of how much money you're getting back for what you put out there, but also better people to work with and better opportunities to take on, better projects to commit yourself to. We have Mars, the planet of action, energy, then that obstacle clearing driving force, moving through Taurus, starting the 5th of July, but carrying through the duration of July and well into August. And with Mars in Taurus, this is putting a special focus on your 7th house of partnerships, closest one-on-one connections. This is your boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all of the people you have your closest one-on-one engagements and involvements with. Now, Mars is all about bringing up opportunities to clear out obstacles or open roads to attain and get committed to a certain goal, or to have in hand the attainment of that goal that a unified partnership, or maybe a business partnership, a romantic partnership, or some kind of alliance has been aiming towards. Mars tends to make all partnerships all the more productive and industrious and enterprising. So you might actually notice that there's a lot of power couple energy going on in romantic relationships, ones that start up, new relationship opportunities, as well as established committed relationships and marriages. And this is also going to be a time where business partnerships are becoming a lot more busy, might be a lot of overtime going on here, but also all the more lucrative. However, Mars is also going to bring up, situations where we are going to need to face certain shadows or certain complexes or certain issues that have been preventing maybe certain close one-on-one connections, including friendships, from being the best they can be. And that can happen with Mars. Mars always brings up the opportunity for constructive collisions in order for people to get closer. This can eliminate a lot of barriers to closeness, barriers to trust, as well as eliminate a lot of unhealthy or maybe volatile or unstable influences that have been permitted to exist around a certain partnership, best friendship, a family, a marriage, or an alliance of some kind. Because Mars doesn't have a lot of tolerance for dysfunction or maybe liabilities we've been looking the other way with. And so this could be also a month where we need to be ready to roll up our sleeves and get to work here as well. However, this is all about creating the closest connections or strengthening the bonds that we have to be at their very, very best. And it's always important to keep that in mind. We have Venus, the planet of love, favor, popularity, and affection, in Gemini through the 17th of the month. This is your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, as well as intimacy and your self-employment earnings, as well as contributions coming through partners, whether they are romantic partners or business partners, to your economic situation. When it comes to Venus and Gemini, all of these income avenues are going to be on the rise in terms of how much they are giving back to you, because Venus tends to always bring us great wealth without a lot of labor. It's sort of the opposite of Mars in that sense. You may be finding that tips, commissions, sales, incentive programs are all starting to trickle in or surge in a great deal of new wealth, maybe even rivaling a peak you may have had in these areas in the past. You're also going to find that your self-employment ventures, whether you own your own business or it's a side gig, they're also becoming a lot more profitable. And you may be finding that a partner, whether it's a romantic partner or a business partner, is also hitting a very strong good luck streak and is able to invest more into the union. This is also a time where romantically a lot of you are getting a chance to spend the first half of this month being a lot more indulgent with a partner or partner potential, because Venus is syncing up a lot of love languages, but especially love languages that help drop barriers and drop controls and drop any kind of inhibitions that may have been preventing the indulgence of such fantasies or such romantic desires. And so again, a lot of you are going to be having a very, very special month when it comes to your private life. After the 17th, Venus moves on into Cancer for the duration of the month. This is that 9th house, right? The higher education, government legal proceedings, travel, culture, spiritual practice, reach, all of that good stuff. And with Venus here for the rest of July and going into the beginning of August, a lot of you are going to find that you are getting even more popular, becoming more well-known, because Venus, very much like the sun, can also bring in a lot of newfound attention, but especially when it comes to new loyalty, whether it's new loyalty in terms of a business following, a social media following, or maybe even yourself, if there's something you wish to gain awareness of when it comes to something that you do, a talent, skill, or project that you have going on in the works. Because Venus in the ninth house is also going to be propagating your name. This is also a time where not only are you changing the way you were received and who is receiving you, but you are also getting an opportunity to transform the terms of a lot of old agreements, old images, or maybe old contracts that have been hanging over your head from the past into ways where they actually serve you more in a more, let's just say, generous and a more supportive and more rewarding way than they ever have. This is also a time when it comes to love and romance where there may be a lot of culture shocks in a good way. Venus in the ninth house is going to be attracting a lot of you single Scorpio people, partner potentials from outside of your bubble and maybe outside of the type that you have been used to working with in recent history. Now, we all have more than one type. It's just that a big mistake that most people make is they stop exploring their types once they've found one type they're into, which, of course, no good. We have 3 types baked into our astrology charts. Some people even have 5. And a lot of you single or available Scorpio people are going to be meeting another one of those types during this period. And there is going to be a foreignness here. Maybe this person is from a different background in some way. However, this is going to be very fun. And there's going to be a great deal of novelty, a great deal of adventure to this. And a lot of you coupled and married Scorpio people are going to be having these experiences as well with your partner, because there is a bit of a cultural awakening or a spiritual awakening going on in your relationships here. And sides of your partner that you have not seen or maybe not seen in a while are also going to be coming out. And so that novelty and that adventure is there for you to explore as well. We have Mercury, the planet of communications, speed, and productivity in this part of your chart from the 5th through the 19th of the month. So travel is definitely going to be on the menu for a lot of you Scorpio people who've been looking to maybe do some traveling or get a move on or a transfer of some kind. Right? Plant your flag in new territory, whether this is a new territory to call home or a new territory to establish yourself in business or your social life. It doesn't matter. It's there. Mercury here is speeding up developments so that this can go as smoothly as possible for you and as efficiently as possible. Now, Mercury in the ninth house may not mean you're all just getting on a plane, on the 5th of July. It could be that this is just where we are establishing the commitments to such moves or such travels and adventures later on in the year. Mercury in the ninth house is also going to be drawing attention to you from spaces and from communities that are outside of your social, economic, business, professional, or cultural bubble, which are also going to be very supportive and loving to you. So be prepared. Some culture shocks here as well. After the 19th of the month, we've got Mercury moving on into Leo for the duration of July and going on into the beginning of August. And with Mercury in the 10th house of career and upward mobility, we are speeding up your growth towards a promotion or ascent in status in some way. We could be moving up an opportunity for a promotion. Maybe we're not used to seeing this. It's out of season for our field or at the office, whatever. It doesn't matter. Mercury is moving this up. It's very unprecedented, but it's highly beneficial. So maybe, loosen up. Don't try to adhere to any scripts or 5-year plans. You know how I feel about those. As I've been saying, they're just usually there to keep people out of trouble, and not all of us need that. With Mercury in the 10th house as well, you're also going to notice that we are speeding up the rate with which you are acquiring wealth for yourself, especially when it comes to things that you have been promoting or things that could be getting promoted by other people. Finally, to close up, let's talk about our lunations. We've got a full moon bringing culminations, transitions, and endings to your 3rd house of contracts, commitments, pacts, promises, your peer group, as well as even third-party situations Capricorn on the 13th of the month. And between the 13th of July as well as the going up to maybe the 27th, 28th of July, it's kind of an overnight thing, so it depends on where you live in the world. A lot of you are starting to cut some attachments, cutting cords, releasing contracts, and binding agreements. This is a great time for those of you that have been looking to get out of some kind of maybe employment contract, a lease, or a payment agreement. Maybe you are looking to cut yourself free from maybe a person or a couple of people that have attached to you or attached to your work in such a way where it is actually creating a problem for you. And you don't really need their participation in this, because the full moon here is letting you cut the cord without them cutting their half of it, right? All that matters is you cut your own cord. This is also a time where you're getting liberated from a lot of attachments or a lot of binds that have been put around you. So be prepared. There's a bit of a jailbreak for the Scorpio people. And we also have a new moon in Leo, in that 10th house of career and upward mobility on the 28th of the month, which is opening up a 2-week window period between the 28th of July and the 10th/11th of August. And it's all about seed planting, new beginnings, and new initiations. This is a big career jump opportunity for those of you who want to take it. Some of you may be starting a new service. Some of you may be seizing an opportunity for a new opening or a new role that is showing up in your field, at the office, or outside the office, because it's internal or external with the 10th house. That is going to feel like a promotion, right? It's a new role, it's a new job, it's possibly a new boss or a new clientele, but at the same time, it's a jump up from where you're at, before we close up July. And this is also a time where those of you who run your own business may be finding that a new moon here is also indicating a major transformation to the social and professional climate around your field in such a way where you are given a new name and you are also able to conduct your business in a way that is more current with who you are now versus what you've had to do to get by in recent history. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.